Good morning, everyone. Becca here with Soak It Up Healing. I'm wearing my Sisters of the Moon shirt today. Tie-dyed this weekend and had a great time sharing my practice in the woods with friends there. So anyway, welcome back to another live outside yoga flow with me. And I have a friend here off camera. So she's going to be flowing with us as well. But I hope you had a chance to grab a mat, and it'll be a gentle flow this morning, nothing too hard. You really just need a space to practice. You shouldn't need any props. And as always, yoga is great for everybody, and you just listen inside. So I'll be guiding you, but take note of what's going on inside your own body and breath. So you really want to be able to breathe fully in the pose. And if you can't, back out of it, come into a child's pose, whatever you need to do to get back into your body and your breath. So with that, we'll just start in a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. It can be on your heels or cross-legged. And if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, we'll go ahead and close our eyes and just tune into the breath now. We'll just start constricting the back of our throat to create that Ujjayi breath. So it sounds like waves of the ocean, or like a kind Darth Vader, I also like to say. So if you've ever had trouble creating the Ujjayi breath, it's just like you're fogging up a mirror. So you go to your mirror or your eyeglasses to clean them and you go, how do you do that, right? It's constricting your vocal cords. So you can do that with your mouth open to get the feel. And then try doing it with your lips sealed. And then try to keep that going for the inhale as well. And send the breath deep into the belly. Nice deep belly breath in and out. You might even notice that your exhale can lengthen a little bit longer than the inhale. It will bring you more into your parasympathetic nervous system, really calm the mind down, and create this baseline of rest where we can start moving the body from. So just breathing with the Ujjayi breath for a few more rounds. Just really starting to notice the breath coming in and out of the nostrils. Maybe even noticing where the inhale turns into the exhale and vice versa. That little space between the movement. And if you've ever meditated and gotten really quiet, you know there's also that space in between each thought. And in that space is the potential for any other thought. So that space is a wonderful creative place that we can tap into, but it does take us slowing down to get there. So one last deep belly breath here, in through the nostrils and out. You can start to gently float the eyes open. And then we'll just start moving the torso around in circles. So pretend like you have a spoon on the front of your chest and you're stirring a pot with it. Keep the breath going. Feeling all the muscles in the spine helping you to move your body. And then reverse the directions here. You can go as slow or as fast as your body wants you to go. And then we'll find a little bit of stillness here. We'll do some neck stretches. So just drop the chin to the chest. Exhale all the air out. And then float your ear to the shoulder. It doesn't matter which side, just Find that stretch in the opposite side of the neck. And then exhale, back chin to chest. And then you'll inhale, float the opposite ear to the other shoulder. Feel that stretch in the side of the neck. And then exhale, float it down. And just move like this on your breath for several rounds, just getting into the side of the neck, creating length, releasing tension, and just feeling again what you're working with today. Can't change anything we're not aware of, so we're just bringing some awareness into the body about what we're feeling. You can also do neck circles where you lift the chin up toward the ceiling, let the head come back behind you, and just roll the neck around, chin to chest, ear to shoulder. So just exploring the neck. All right, when that feels complete, you can just bring the head into a neutral place, roll the shoulders forward and up, and then back and down. As you exhale, you're squeezing those shoulder blades back behind you. A couple more in this direction. If you ever need to exhale through the mouth, feel free to do that too. I'm not super strict with the nostril breathing except for the inhales. And then we'll reverse the directions on the shoulder circles. So bring them back behind you and then up and forward. A couple more like this. Nice. And then again, finding that neutral, nice, tall, straight spine. We'll inhale, lift the arms up by the ears. And then exhale, go to your left. You can hold on to your right wrist. So I'm mirroring you. I think it will show up like that in the video. One time I did it and it wasn't mirrored and I got confused, but it's okay. We're just going to do both sides all the time. So if you ever mess up, just remember which side you did and we'll do the other side. So you're sinking your right hip down as you reach through that whole right side of your body. Then we'll inhale to lift once again. And then exhale to the other side. So maybe it's to your right side, you're holding onto your left wrist, and your left hip is sinking down to the mat. You're just feeling your side body open up. You might notice you can't go too far yet, and that's okay because our bodies aren't warmed up. So we'll do this if we can get later. And we'll in. So your right hand is coming to your left knee. Maybe you can start to look over your left shoulder. You're just twisting through that torso. Just a little bit of wringing out of stagnant energy. And breathing. When you're ready to inhale, come back up through center one more time. And we'll exhale, release the hands on down. Awesome. From here, we'll come into a tabletop position. So bring those wrists, elbows, shoulders, all in alignment. Fingertips spread nice and wide. Knees are underneath your hips. You can keep your toes tucked, and we'll just warm up our wrists a little bit first. So moving your torso forward and back. You can also send the hips back to the heels, so you're stretching out the bottoms of the feet. You're just feeling the wrists and hands start to warm up, feeling that positive pressure in them. You can take the fingertips out to the sides and move around here, maybe in some circles or figure eights. And then you can also try bringing your fingertips to face the knees, sitting back on the heels. This gets more into the forearms. You can bend one elbow at a time. If this hurts, please don't do it. Stay in another one of the options I gave. And then last option I'll give today is to come onto the backs of the hands, press into the tops of the hands a little bit. Nice. Now we'll come back into a normal position with the fingertips toward the front edge of the mat. And we'll move through cat and cow, inhaling to let the belly drop down, look up with the chest and the face. And then exhale, press the tops of the feet in, round the spine up. Inhale back through cow. You can tuck the toes if that feels good. And exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. A couple more of these, inhaling to lift. And exhaling to round. Tuck that belly button into the spine. You can move at your own pace and your own rhythm. And just notice the in-betweens. We're not just going for the cat and the cow, we're going for everything in between. And if you'd like to move around in a less linear fashion, you can. I like to do some barrel rolls, moving the torso from side to side a little bit, still getting that nice rounding and dropping in, but just feeling it in a little different place. This gets more into the side ribs. So you can just play around with what feels good in your body. And then we'll come into a needle. So as you come back into a neutral, right arm all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, let that right arm and ear come on down to the mat. So you're reaching through that space created by the left hand. We'll just stay here for several breaths. So really let your right ear and right shoulder relax into the mat. And if you want, you can move your left hand to the front edge of the mat. Get a nice straight arm stretch with that left shoulder. Or you can even reach the left hand around behind the back. Maybe having your left hand rest on your inner right thigh. This allows you to get more of a twist in the chest and the back. And for my friend and I, we feel this a lot because we dragon boated yesterday. If you don't know what dragon boat is, you can check out Nature Coast Dragon Boat Club on Facebook and see some pictures and videos of what we do. It is a very fun cardio team sport, and definitely gets into the shoulders and the core and the legs and the booty. And so we're doing a recovery flow for a very hard dragon boat practice we had last night. And this is my favorite stretch after dragon boat. It just seems to be the perfect counter move to all of that cardio. So one more breath here, just relaxing into it. And when you next exhale, if you moved your left hand, you can bring it back in front of the face. And then as you inhale, start to unwind. Reach that right arm back up toward the ceiling, counter stretch. And then we'll exhale, set it down. Obviously, we got to do the other side. So left arm lifts, inhale. And then exhale, thread the needle. Bring that left arm underneath the right arm. Slowly move into settling in with the left ear, left shoulder down. Again, right hand can stay where it's at if that feels good, pressing into the ground, or you can reach the right arm in front of you or loop it around behind the back. And you might notice that this side wants something different, and that's okay. We are not perfectly symmetrical beings. So just keep tuning into your intuition, what your body wants and needs. You can change it at any time. So if you start to feel like maybe a different position would be good for you today on this side, feel free to move. And just one more nice deep breath here. And we'll start to bring that right hand back. And then we'll inhale to lift through the left arm all the way up to the ceiling. Nice slow movement. And then exhale, hands come back down. Take the knees out wide and the big toes in to touch, and set the hips down to the heels. Reach the arms out in front of you for a child's pose. You can let the forehead rest down to the mat. We'll just stay here and breathe for a few breaths. Just letting the back body unwind. You can also tune back into your breath and your intention as you allow the back body to expand. Feeling those ribs expand 360 degrees. And you can roll the forehead from side to side, just massaging that third eye, allowing your intuition to open up even more. One more nice deep breath here. And as you next inhale, we'll start to press ourselves up into a seat. And then we'll swing the legs around in front. So you'll come into staff pose, Dandasana, seated Tadasana, basically. Sit up nice and tall. Your toes are flexed, so you're coming back towards your knees. You can place your hands either alongside you or back behind you, and just lift that chest for a moment. Feel the engagement in your upper thighs. Then we'll come into a forward fold. So as you're ready, inhale, lift the arms up by the ears. And then exhale, reach down with the hands towards your feet. Feel that chest elongating and lengthening down towards your thighs. Once you can't go forward anymore with your chest, start to curl in with the forehead toward the knees. We'll just be here for a couple of breaths. If you can reach your feet, great. If not, don't worry about it. You can have your hands rest down by the sides of your legs. No need to force or strain anything. We're really just allowing the body to unwind, slowly relax. No forcing. It's one of the only ways you can get injured in yoga is if you force yourself into something, move too quickly, try something when you're cold. So we really want to get warmed up before we try anything too intense in yoga, and then back off again if we can't breathe fully. So another breath here in your forward fold. And then we'll start to lift up. And we'll take the legs out wide. So you can go however is comfortable for you. If you want to come to the long edge of your mat and have your feet to the corner edges. Again, sit up nice and tall. Start to just walk the feet out as you exhale. The hands. Walk the hands out in front of you. And then start to relax your forehead down toward the mat once you get to your extreme in that forward fold. So this one obviously feels different, getting more into the groin, the inner thighs. Then again, don't judge yourself or how far forward you can go or how wide your legs are. Just honor yourself for being where you're at. See if you can be okay with being exactly where you're at. Sometimes we're always trying to get somewhere or comparing ourselves to someone else, and we really don't gain a goal in a human body. And then keeping the torso low, we'll just start to shift over to the right. So you can lean over toward your right leg, start to let the forehead drop down toward that right knee. Make sure you keep your left hip sinking down. You can stay here with the right arm with the left arm toward the right leg, or you can reach that left arm out to the up and over, coming down towards your toes. Don't worry if you don't quite make it to your toes. You can just hang out here. As long as you're feeling that stretch in the side of your back body, getting into the lats here. Again, this is a great one for dragon boat. Yeah, this is like those muscles. This is it. So if you want to get strong lats, join dragon boat and then join me for yoga afterwards to stretch those muscles that you just built up. As always, keep breathing. Whenever we're holding a pose, your breath is still moving. And we'll start to release on an exhale. You can come back through center, shift over to your other leg, maybe your left leg, and then start to let the forehead release down toward that left knee. Right hand can be by the leg for a few breaths, and then if you would like to open it up to the right, reach that arm over, and then start to lift up and over the ear. Whew. Oh yeah, I can feel it. And just allow the breath to open you up and settle you down. Each in the body, and settle down, release tension, relax. Couple more breaths here. Check in with the neck too, make sure you're not straining there. That's my biggest tension holder, so I'm always noticing, oh, I'm like holding my head strange. I should probably relax. Another tip I learned in yoga teacher training was to imagine Tadasana in every pose. So Tadasana, mountain pose, where we're standing tall and everything's in alignment. We want to think about that in each pose. So how am I embodying that straight line of Tadasana in this pose? So you want your neck to be in alignment with your spine and everything engaged that needs to be. So flexing the toes, engaging the thighs, lifting the pelvic floor, all that kind of stuff can go on in each pose. Unless you're in a yin class and then you're relaxing everything. All right, last breath here. And we'll start to swing down through the middle and then slowly sit up nice and straight. We'll bring the feet in together now. Still not ready to stand. So we'll, with the feet together, you're here in this nice bound angular butterfly position. And again, we'll forward fold. So we'll lift up nice and tall with the chest as you inhale, and then exhale, send that chest toward the feet. You can bring your elbows outside of the shins to give yourself more room for that chest. And again, once your chest reaches its limit, you've found your edge with how far you can fold, you can start to tuck the chin in, releasing that forehead down toward the feet. And breathe. I think he wants to come do yoga with us. I don't know. Do you think it's bothering your fam? No, it doesn't bother me. As long as it doesn't bother you. We're letting the dog out. So for those of you who know Moses, you might get to see him here in the video. Always want to keep our furry friends happy. He sounds a little sad that he's far away from us. We'll just do a few more breaths here. And then we'll start to slowly come out of it. We've got crows and squirrels and a dog. We are fully in nature. All right. From here, we will just send our feet out in front. Hi, Moses. Hi, buddy. Hello. Mwah. You're a good boy. Yes. Kisses. All right. So bring your feet out in front and we'll start warming up even more. So we'll get a little core going here. So from here with your feet out in front, your knees bent, you want to have your shoulders up and back. Back and down. And your arms are going to reach out in front. So make sure you've got your nice straight spine. Then lift your feet one at a time. You can stay lifting one at a time, or you can have both lifted for boat. You can have your knees bent or straight. Straight is harder. So you're engaging your abs, you're lifting your chest, and you're just feeling that strength of your core to keep your chest reaching for your thighs. Keep breathing here as always. And if you'd like, you can get it even more challenging by coming into a low boat, lowering the feet and shoulders down to about an inch off the mat. So it's like this hollow body hold, which is a really great position to strengthen your core for headstands and handstands. If you're shaking, it's all good. I am too. I don't know if you can see, but my body is like an earthquake. And you can also try coming back up to boat. So it's like a yogi crunch. So you can exhale, lower, and inhale to lift. Keep the feet engaged. Keep the shoulders rolling back and down. I kind of came into to a rounded back there on that last one. So just trying to keep that spine as straight as you can. Thanks, Moses. You're helping. All right, last one, if you got it in you. And then we'll come back up. You can release those feet down. Thank you, core. And now we'll come onto the knees one more time. Place the hands out in front. Start to send the feet back behind you and then lift the hips up and back. So downward facing dog. First one of class, so you can pedal your feet out here, walk the dog. Really think about releasing the head down toward the mat, so no tension in your neck here. You can even shake your head no or nod yes to make sure that it's relaxed. And check in with your feet, make sure they're parallel, hip width distance apart. And you're pressing evenly through the hands and the feet as you lift the hips up and back and press the chest toward the thighs and release the heels down to the mat. One more breath here in down dog. Then we'll float forward with the shoulders over the wrists for plank pose. If you need to adjust the feet, you can make that adjustment now. And this is a good way to tell if you're in the right place in your down dog, is going straight from a plank to a down dog. So we'll do that one more time. So here in your plank, inhale, and then exhale, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Shouldn't have to make any adjustments. And then on your next inhale, we'll float back forward into plank. Hold here in plank. If you need to set the knees down, go for it. And we'll exhale, chaturanga, bend those elbows, lower the body all the way down in one unit to the mat, and release the toes. On your next inhale, we'll lift the chest for baby cobra. See if you can also lift the hands off the mat, even if it's just an inch. So you're feeling all those muscles in the spine working, you're still breathing. And then we'll exhale, release the forehead down to the mat, tuck the toes under, start to lift the hips up and back. One more down dog. Beautiful. And from here in your down dog, inhale to lift your right foot up and back. You can also bend the knee, send the heel toward the hips, and then you can stack the hips. So you're sending your hips to your right side, really opening up here in the hips. And then we'll exhale, start to send that knee to the nose. So you're coming into a plank basically where your shoulders are rounded up and you're hugging that knee into the chest. Keep breathing. Flex your right foot, step it forward in between the hands, and then start to lift the hands up either to your knee or up by your ears for a low lunge. You can always lower the left knee down if you'd like to. And just keep lifting the chest. From here, we'll start to set the hands down to frame the front foot and then step the back foot up to meet it. Forward fold. Relax the forehead down toward the knees, top of the head toward the mat. And breathe. On your next inhale, fingertips to the shins, nice straight back, lengthen. And then exhale, release on down. Next inhale, bring those arms out, around and up. Palms or fingertips touch overhead. And then we'll exhale, release the hands down the midline of the body. Nice. From here, we'll reach the arms back up. And exhale, forward fold on down. We'll place the hands alongside the feet so you can bend your knees here to get them flat on the floor. And then you can step, float, or jump your feet back to the back of your mat and come into another down dog. One breath here in down dog. Then we'll inhale, lift the left leg up. Feel that length through the leg. You can bend the knee and then open stack the hips. Feel that stretch in the hips. And then we'll come back through with the knee to the nose. Hover here in plank. Really send that knee up toward the chest. Send those shoulders up toward the sky. And then step your foot through too. And then lift yourself up into a low lunge. Couple breaths here in your low lunge. And then we'll exhale, bring yourself close, a bit of positive pressure. And then we'll start to reach the arms out, around, and up as you inhale. Palms touch overhead. And then exhale, release down the midline of the body. Nice. From here, we'll do a little balancing pose. So come to stand wherever is comfortable for you, and then spread your right toes on your right foot. Get your weight into that right foot, and then lift your left heel. Spin left heel so it's either on your ankle, your inner thigh, and you want your left knee coming back behind you as your hips send forward. So set up your alignment first, and then also pick a point that's steady, that's not moving, that you can focus your gaze on. You can bring the hands to heart center, or you can reach them up overhead if you're feeling balanced. This is tree pose. Beautiful, basic balancing pose. Also connects you to the earth and to the sky. So it sends the energy all the way from the ground to the crown. One more breath here. And then on your next inhale, see if you can lift your left knee up towards your chest. And then reach your right hand down to your foot, your knee, or your big toe. And then extend your legs straight out. So you're pressing into your fingers and your toes with the same amount of pressure. So your right fingers are pulling your foot back to you, and your left toe is pushing your hand away. Your left hand can be wherever helps you balance. And again, you can be doing this with your knee or with your foot. So I find it easiest to use my 2 peace fingers around the big toe And this is just a really nice stretch in the hamstring. When you're ready, you can release that, come back to standing, shake out that standing leg. Woo. Okay, the gentle part is over, apparently. There won't be too much of this. I just want to get some balance in there. Balance is always a good thing to practice regularly. As it changes as we age, it changes every day. So left works best for you. Ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Just don't want it pressing on the knee joint. And send your right knee back behind you. Hips are forward. Again, hands can be heart center at your hips or reaching up like the branches of a beautiful tree. Nice steady gaze, nice steady breath. Helps with balance. Your left ankle is doing tons of work here, so don't worry if it's moving. That is what is keeping you in this pose. One more breath here in tree. And then as you next happen to inhale, bring the knee into the chest if you can, and then send that foot forward as you reach down with your opposite hand. Hold on to your big toe or your knee or your hand. And then again, your right hand can be in whatever position helps you with balance. I think Moses is happy he's here instead of behind the fence. He's not barking anymore. Okay, last breath, toe pose. All right, go ahead and release that. Shake out that standing foot. All right, great job. We'll do a forward fold. I love it. Yeah, you're inspiring me. So we'll bring our feet nice and wide, parallel, toes facing long edge of your mat. Reach the arms up and then exhale, forward fold. Release them down. Release the top of the head down toward the mat. Fingertips can come in line with the toes if they reach there for you, or you can also grab hold of the legs. Just a nice wide-legged forward fold. You can also interlace the hands behind the back and reach them up toward the ceiling or the sky. This gets into the shoulders. And then you can think about pouring the weight more into the balls of your feet, and that gets your hamstrings a little bit more open. Just a couple of breaths here. And then as you next exhale, use the hands down if you had them bound behind you. As you inhale, come all the way up to standing. We'll bring the feet in a little closer together, but still a little wider than hip width distance. Bring the hands to the hips or heart center, and then start to sink the hips down toward the heels for a yogi squat, malasana, the pooping in the woods pose. I can't help myself. I just think about it every time. Plus, I think we all take ourselves too seriously, so this is my way of bringing some lightness to my yoga practice. But if you're in this position and you can't get your heels down to the floor, no worries. You can stay up on your toes. That's fine. Also, if your hips are way high, it's okay. Just be where you're at. Feel that stretch and just allow yourself to be here, wherever that is for you. If you can bring your palms together and you're pressing your elbows against the knees, that'll just widen up the hips, open them up a little bit more for you. And if you have something to sit on, like a block or a rock or some books or a pillow, you can stick that underneath wherever you're at to help you rest down a little bit in this pose. But we're about finished here, so you can bring your hands behind you and just start to lower the hips right on down. Nice. Which one did I say we were going to do again to see how different it felt? Trying to remember. Was it the twist or? Oh, the side bend. That's what we were going to do. So we'll bring our feet together. If you can remember which way you sat at the beginning, see if you can bring your opposite leg in front, just to change it up. And then we'll inhale, lift reach the arms up by the ears. And then we'll come into that side bend, our potted palm. So you're holding on to your right wrist, sinking the right hip down, and leaning over to the left. So maybe you can go a little deeper now that we've done some more work to warm up our bodies. Another breath here. We'll inhale, come back through center, and go to the other side. You can hold on to the opposite wrist. Just start to allow the body to open up. I do feel like it's a little bit more open, yeah. So it is nice to do moves at the beginning and at the end of class, just to notice what's shifted for you. Hello, honeybee. And then we'll inhale back up through center. We'll do the twist here again as well. So open up to your right, bringing your right hand behind you. Feels different. Couple breaths. And then we'll inhale back up through center. And exhale, twist to the other side. One more breath. And then we'll come back up through center. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands on down. We'll do a little hip opener here before, actually we'll come into, we'll lie down on our backs and do a hip opener from there. So make your way down onto your mat, just lowering down, releasing the head, releasing the shoulders. You can keep the knees bent. And then you'll place your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Press your right knee away. Flex those right toes to keep your knee safe. And if you're not feeling much in the right outer hip here, what you can do is lift your left foot, reach through that space that you've created with your legs, and interlace your hands in front or behind the left knee and hug that knee in a little closer to your chest. See if you can keep the head and neck and shoulders relaxed on the ground as you pull this knee in close. You can also send the left foot around in circles, releasing that left ankle joint. And breathe. This is reclined pigeon. It is the most accessible version of a hip opener, so I wanted to offer this one so that you always have it. You can also do this one seated in a chair. It's called a figure 4 stretch. It's a really great way to reduce the pain of sciatica. So if you ever have that tight lower back that causes immobility, this is a great one to do to prevent or to release that pain. Couple more breaths here. Hi, Moses. Hello. Oh, kisses. My goodness, thank you. You have the best breath ever. Wow. Okay. From here, you can start to lower your left foot if you had it lifted. Uncross your right ankle and we'll switch sides. So left ankle comes on top of the right thigh. Again, keeping those left toes flexed protects that left knee. You can press the left knee away with your left hand or start to lift the right foot up, interlace the fingers in front or behind the right knee and pull that in close. And again, you should be feeling this one on the outer left hip. You can also roll that right ankle around in circles. Release any pops and cracks in there. And just breathe. allowing yourself to relax a bit more. Last 2 breaths here. And if you had your right foot lifted, you can start to lower it on down, uncross the left foot, and then hug both knees into the chest. You can give them a nice squeeze, rock a little bit side to side, and then reach down for your ankles or your feet or your calves. So we'll come into happy baby. So you'll just send your knees toward the armpits. You can rock side to side here too. Nice little back massage on the mat. If you're on a hard floor, this can feel so good on the hips, the pelvis, the spine. I've got a nice cushioning of pine needles, so it's not as intense of a massage as I'm used to on the studio floor, but it's still good. You can move around however feels good for you here in your happy baby. You can straighten the legs or straighten one at a time. And just enjoy this move for a few more breaths. And if there are any other moves that you want to do before you come into your final resting pose, feel free to take those moves. You might want feet to the sky for a waterfall, or you can come into a shoulder stand or a plow position, really whatever is calling to you. Then when you're ready to relax into Shavasana, you can just let the feet come to the corner edges of the mat. Shoulders down and away from the ears, palms facing up, arms a little away from the body. You can gently close down the eyes if that's comfortable for you. Another option too is you can bring the feet in together for a reclined butterfly, just to stay in the hip opener realm in your Shavasana, and just allowing gravity to pull you closer to the ground, allowing all tension to release from the forehead, the eyes, all those little muscles around the eyes, your jaw and your tongue relaxing and releasing in the mouth. Just noticing if you're holding any tension in your fingers, your wrists, your toes, and just letting them go. I'll be quiet for a moment or two and let you fully integrate your practice. And if you'd like to stay in Shavasana longer, you can always stop or pause the video. I guess it's live, so you can't pause it, but you can stay longer if you'd like. You can start to gently deepen your breath now, bringing that awareness back into your body. And start to gently wiggle the toes, the fingers. You can roll the thumb over each fingertip. Just noticing the sensations in the body. And you can start to lengthen and stretch, maybe bringing the arms overhead, lengthening one side a little longer, and then the other. And then you can feel free to roll to one side, maybe curl up in a little ball, or the fetal position, and just rest for a moment. Taking your time, staying in this nice, calm space you've created. When you're ready, you can start to press yourself up to a cozy seat. And I will share the 4 soul intentions for living a happy, healthy, and harmonious life with you. So if you'd like to join me by bringing your right hand to the belly, your left hand to the chest, we'll set the intention here for a joyful, energetic body. Bringing the hand from the belly on top of the hand on the chest, we'll set the intention for a loving and compassionate heart. Then bringing the fingertips to touch, palms remain separated as we set the intention for a reflective and alert mind. And bringing the heels of the hands together, middle 3 fingers express out, pinky and thumb stay connected, setting the intention for lightness of being. Again, not taking ourselves too seriously. Palms come together, you can rest them at your heart center and gently bow toward your fingertips and thank yourself for coming to this class and doing something beneficial for body, mind, and spirit. I'm so grateful you shared my practice with me. Thank you so much. Namaste. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you. Yay.